All right, part 3. Parthenogenesis. Virgin birth. In the indigenous Americas, as traced through the story of Queen Khalifa, the woman who uh, took up arms with the Muslims to defeat the Christians. She did not win. But this is what people. This is our most inspired, like, Amazon story. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much in it because we already did it in the last 2 parts. Let's get right where we left off. And this is the brain blackening potion, the dark matter chili. This is how we can find the sources. Alright, we left off with the yellow pool. The women enter it to bathe, they emerge pregnant. I told you my theories. So taking off from there, we're in the section, dating with caution. So the country of women belongs to the ancient Shanhaijing textual complex. But the yellow pool mechanism is supplied explicitly by Gupu, his 4th century commentary. So we should not silently backdate the full reproductive account to the earliest layers of the base work. So we don't necessarily know, but this is still one of the earliest things that I can find, right? So, next, the book of the later Han, the Divine Well. Source, Hao Henshu, Biographies of the Eastern Yi, compiled by Fran Yi, 398 to 446 CE, from earlier materials. So that's when it was compiled, but it comes from much older works. So the evidence here is also very direct and explicit. So our direct translation is, it is also said that in the sea there is a country of women without men. Some report that the country has a divine well. When they look into it, they immediately conceive children. So a country of women in the sea. A country in the sea is probably an island, right? Maybe the island of California. So this is the ancient Chinese talking about this, and Esplandian later in his novel explicitly calls this out as the island of California. Could this be the same thing, or possibly a phenomenon that happens with many groups of women? Personally, through what I'm reading, I do think this is, at least most of them are talking about literally the exact same person, but I could also see if some of them, or if there were other groups out there and the stories kind of got mixed up over time. Because, it's possible that more than one woman, more than one group had the ability to do this and realized, we gotta go somewhere where they can't find us, right? So, unlike an individual miraculous birth, this is an ethnographic explanation for how an entire country without men continues. The mechanism is visual contact with a sacred well. The sea location reinforces the women-only island or offshore country pattern. Relationship to the yellow pool. The well and pool accounts are similar but not identical. One requires bathing, the other only looking. That variation suggests a circulating motif in which sacred water supplies generative power. Sacred water supplies generative power rather than a stable verbatim story copied unchanged. So this is interesting because outside of this type of asexual reproduction, we hear many stories of sacred waters. So if we were to take this literally, you could maybe the sacred water, because of whatever is in it, is able to reactivate this lost thing within women, where suddenly they are able to conceive asexually again because this water is able to repair damage or something. Maybe. But also, like I was saying in the last one, this could be a story that kind of got mixed up over time that was talking about a culture of birthing in water. and the asexual reproduction may have had nothing to do with the water birth. It may have just been a thing that these women naturally went to because of their understanding of the birthing process, right? But I'll believe the sacred waters. I'm down for that theory too, right? So the book of Liang, seasonal conception in water, Liang Shu, account of Fu Sang and the country of women, compiled in 635 CE, preserves a report associated with 499 CE. The translation is, more than 1,000 li east of Fu Sang, there is a country of women. Their features are regular, their complexion very light, their bodies hairy, and their hair hangs to the ground. In the second and third months, they enter the water in succession and become pregnant. In the sixth and seventh months, they give birth. Interesting. So this is a little more detailed, and we still have the water here, but we're also still in, Asia with these stories. So these are like the oldest renditions of this story. So yeah, that's really interesting. Light complexion, hairy bodies, and we heard hairy bodies from a totally different source as well. So this could also be why they're often referred to as hermaphrodites, because they could be hermaphrodites, but also to have asexual reproduction, you don't have to be a hermaphrodite. You can just be female standard. And I don't think having a hairy body would necessarily have anything to do with that, but this is just these particular people and how they look. Okay, so the passage describes a collective, repeatable reproductive practice. There are no visiting husbands in this account. Like I've been saying, water generates pregnancy on a seasonal schedule. Oh, they locked in with the earth. It also resembles Mila in the unusual detail of bodily hair, although the two traditions differ in tone and location, as I was saying. So geographical caution. Fu Sang was a mobile and disputed Eastern place name. Proposed identifications have ranged across Northeast Asia and the Pacific, and historical claims identifying it with the Americas are contested. The safe conclusion is that the text places women at a marvelous eastern edge beyond another remote island. Not that it secretly maps them onto a modern country. I disagree. but this is the academic way to say it, because we don't know. So, but in my heart, I do know. So, okay. Wak wak. Might be doing that wrong. It's W-A-Q, W-A-Q. And this is Arabic. So, wind, fruit, tree-born women, and a female queen. Oh, I don't have much time. So we'll just start a little of this. Actually, let's end it here so I don't have to cut this story off in the middle. I'm just going to film another one right now. But let me know what you think.